Linda Barcz from the Barcz Company is taking your calls at 270-9933. That's a pretty purple-ish plant.
Purplish, yes. That's called candy cherry truffles, and it is a type of sedum, so that means it's got really thick, fat leaves that helps to hold moisture, and then the flowers are just starting to come. People are familiar with autumn joy sedum, but this is a variation on that, and it does have a little bit of a ruffle.
And it's a
perennial.
perennial.
It is a perennial, and next to it is the beautiful, it's a Zagreb coreopsis, and that is a long blooming perennial. You've got lots of flowers now, and there's lots of flowers to come. So that one blooms is one of those that.
What's this spiky thing up here?
Isn't that sort of cool? Its backdrop is Blue Heaven, a little blue stem, but out front, that's the really showy little stalk, is something that is called Rattlesnake Master. And so supposedly when the pioneers came with their horses, this used to knock up against their boots and it sounded like rattlesnakes.
That's
on
very
their
cool.
boots.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the phones. We'll start with Karen in Middleton. Hi, Karen. What's your question?
Hello. I was wondering if bagged soil has an expiration, so to speak, as if it's stored in a dry shed. Do the nutrients diminish just sitting there if you go to use it years later?
Interesting question.
That's a very interesting question, and I don't really have any scientific proof of this, but see, typically the soil that is bagged like that, that's actually been sterilized. So I don't think that there would be an expiration date associated with it. It should be fine to use it, especially since you've kept it dry.
It's dirt. Sylvia in Madison. Hi, what's your question?
I have about 4 or 5 grapevine plants, and one of them's got a really bad case of bumps on it, or like, I don't know if it's plants or pests.
Okay.
That have got the leaves all bumpy.
All bumpy? That probably is a type of an insect that is causing a gall on the grape leaf. And typically those galls do not have any impact because it doesn't force the leaves to drop. They're just living in that leaf, and you're still going to have good fruit production. The grapes are not doing so well because we've been quite cool for this year, sort of like tomatoes. But
yeah, they like it hotter.
Yes, they do.
All right, Marcia in Madison. Hi, Marcia.
Hi, I have a question about impatiens. I've had them growing in the same location for many years, and suddenly they seem to be vulnerable to something. They appear to be that they're being eaten.
Okay, I think maybe it might be the wet conditions that we had earlier. I suspect earwigs. That is an insect that loves it really, really wet, and earlier on it was. Now, that may be reduced now, but you can get a chemical. It's a granular material that fights both earwigs and slugs and, well, ants actually also. But
you put it on soil?
Because they feed at night.
Okay, and it's safe around, not around food though.
I don't think you use it on food.
Okay. Julie in Portage. Hi, Julie.
Hi, I have a vine, the house plant, and all the leaves are off except for at the end. And I was wondering if I should cut that off.
Okay, everything seems to be dying except the ends. Is that what you said, Julie?
Yeah, all the leaves are falling off except for the very end. I was wondering if I should cut that off and transplant it.
Well, typically with vines, what happens is, yes, the older leaves will die, and if you can try to root that young section that is still growing well, that might be an option. Sometimes people have luck with that, starting with a starter type of soil that's a little bit lighter. That can work, depending upon what kind of vine it is. I have trouble with English ivies. They seem to just not want to live with me. But devil's pathos, that works great.
All right, Shirley in Milton. Hi, Shirley.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question about ornamental cabbages. We were talking. Can we eat them or make coleslaw out of that?
I think I asked Lori back at Barcz Company that question one time. I think that we thought that they might be bitter, but I don't know, Shirley. Let me try to do some research and try to remember to talk about that next Monday. I don't know.
I would imagine.
It's a cold crop, yeah. I just don't know whether it would taste good, and it's probably not as productive because you're growing it for the ornamental leaves rather than for the head.
All right, we're out of time. If you're on the line, stay there. We'll talk to you off the air, and we will see you next week with a cabbage update.
Okay.
All right, thanks. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.